Hey guys, good evening. Hope you all are doing fine. This is the price action analysis of the 10th of August 2022. Welcome to this video. We will be starting with Nifty first. This is the 5-minute chart of Nifty 50 index, and we will be starting by analyzing the first candle today. So, how did Nifty open? Always ask yourself, how did Nifty open? Where did it open? The location of the opening is highly important. It is extremely important to understand that open of a day is a very important concept in index trading. So the open is right here. Where is it? Right above the previous day high. So if the open is here above the previous day high and the candle itself closes below the previous day high, what does it suggest? It suggests that these higher prices are being rejected by the market. So there is a rejection of price at the higher prices, and sellers are not accepting this price, or traders are not accepting this price, hence they have turned sellers at that position. Now these sellers have actually gone ahead and pushed the price lower in the first candle itself, but then you can see that there is a CPR right below it. So this CPR here is acting as a strong support to price. Why is it strong? You can see the wick here. It's a very big wick. So this candle actually was this big for a moment, but then this big red candle from here also buyers rejected the price from the low, and this big red candle actually became only half bodied red candle, whereas the rest of the half was a big long wick. So now what does this tell you? This tells you that right here there are a lot of buyers. So right off the bat, what should you understand out of this? That this is the area of the sellers and this is the area of the buyers. This entire zone is the buying zone. So here the buyers are sitting strong and they are not going to give up very easily. Here the sellers are very strong and they are not going to give up very easily either. So now this particular range becomes an important range for the entire day. And now can you see that the price has actually traded within that particular uh, zone itself for the entire day? Let me just mark it properly. See here. Can you see this zone? You can see that the price has actually traveled right between this zone for such a long time. Then it all, even then it continued to stretch forward in the same zone here. Can you see this? These two boxes are the boxes that show you, or this particular zone is what it actually shows you, that the entire area here acted as a that area is where the maximum volume was today. So the maximum traded volume was within that particular box today. And you can see here that Nifty had actually come down quite severely, and Bank Nifty was doing well in the morning, but Nifty was giving it a lot, taking a lot of pressure since the morning, selling pressure, and that was what was applying pressure to Bank Nifty also. And Nifty kept selling severely and it came down and broke out of the CPR also. But I had marked this area yesterday, and this blue line was the one that I had marked, and it said that the 17449 or the 17450 is the level that will be important in the upcoming trading session if price comes to that level. And exactly at that level you can see that price has taken support and it has shot up today, and then for the entire trading session that area has not been revisited. So that is the reason why I keep telling you to watch these price action videos, learn why I mark these areas, learn what makes these areas important, or these zones important, or these levels important, and where buyers are and where sellers are. Okay, this is extremely important. You have to learn price action if you want to become successful in the stock market. Okay, now let's get back to the subject. Now see what happens here. So here it basically gives us a formation here of a morning star kind of a pattern. This is a morning star formation pattern where you can see that this is the three candlestick formation pattern, where this happens to be a red candle, and here there's a prior downtrend. Then you find this doji, and then you find this particular green candle which has completely taken out this particular fall. So what does this formation suggest to us? This suggests this certain kind of a formation like this. So if we add up these three candlesticks, we can see that there is a nice juicy green pin bar there. Okay, so that is the reason why the price reversed. That was the reason why that formation was made there, because of the particular support at that level, which was this particular line here. And see, then price went up, but then it took selling right here. You can see that there is a weekly pivot also there. You can see that around that area sellers were strong, so that was a selling zone. and you can see later that throughout this area, you can see here how price has actually rejected from going above. So the price has not been able to go above this area for the entire remainder of the session. There is a lot of pressure to price around that area. So that is a strong zone in which price is trading. See, now what is going to happen is, if price is trading in this particular fashion, it means that there is a strong consolidation in price today, and it was suggested by this particular long or wide CPR, I should say. This is a wide CPR, right? So that was what was suggested today. In fact, Bank Nifty had a wider CPR today, and so price never really went anywhere today. It was a false breakout here, and it was pretty evident. I had also tweeted about it. Do not go run behind that breakout. The price most often will reverse from such breakouts, and also the fact that Bank Nifty was above its CPR. So I've always told you to observe both indices. Whenever one index is above the CPR and the other is breaking down from the CPR, don't take a short position at that point in the one that has broken the CPR, because the other CPR will act as a strong support in the other index, right? And then after this particular jump, then you could see that buyers were strongly coming in at every dip, and they were strongly pushing price upwards at every dip that occurred. See, every dip was bought into. You can see here, see, all these dips got buying. So basically the price has been going in a particular range today, a very tight range today. You can see this range, it's a very tight range, and we can see that the price has not really challenged the open of the day today at all. The open has not been challenged except for this candlestick here, where the price actually went up to the open and then took selling and came down again, but that was a very early challenge. But in the remainder of the day, no real candle has actually gone up to the absolute open of this particular candlestick. Now let's see where this high was and where this open was. You can see here, you can see up here, the open was 17557.20 and the high was 17561.45. okay, so the high was somewhere around this area. See, this was the high, and you can see that this particular high has not really been tested by price again, and that is the reason why now what we will do is we will mark that high as a strong area, and that being the reason being that, the PDH will be a strong area. The reason being that that level has not been retested again today in the entire price action. So that is the that becomes a cause for us to be alert at that level. So if you are marking a red line there, we will be alert that the sellers might step into that area and they might give a push to price again once that area is touched again tomorrow. Okay, if the price opens anywhere above that area, so like somewhere around this area, okay, here, or if it opens somewhere around here, or here somewhere, so any opening around this area here above the R1 pivot, and we might see the price jumping upwards tomorrow, because the price has consolidated today, and that will be a breakout from the previous session's range. What we will now do is we will delete this particular blue line, and we will instead of that mark this particular day as a demand zone, because prices jump from there. Although we don't see a very big jump, but still that area has acted importantly today, so we will mark that line, the low, as an important area again. And here in Nifty, we really don't have a virgin CPR, we don't have any other important levels to mark. You can see on the 15-minute time frame, if you go, see how these candlesticks are taking support at exactly that level. So that area might act as an important support tomorrow. So what we can do here is we can go ahead and mark a demand zone there, or we can just mark if you want, you can mark blue lines there. If you don't want to, mark it as a strong zone there, and this will be the zone that will be important for tomorrow. So it is up to you how you mark it. It is up to your style to mark it. We can mark in blue lines, or you can mark it in a box also, but it's entirely up to you how you mark the levels on the charts. There is no hard and fast rule that you should apply some particular color. Why I have marked this area is because this area is going to be important tomorrow. You can see how price has been taking consistent support in that area today. So now if price breaks this area tomorrow with this particular strong red candle, then the next support is this particular area, which is around 17443, and then this entire zone will act as an important area now tomorrow. So you have to understand that unless that zone is broken, or if you see any, or if you are in a particular trade tomorrow in a short entry, then you should see whether the candlestick formation at the CPR is strong enough or not. So like if you want to take a CPR, a breakout from CPR trade, just ensure tomorrow that if here candlesticks, like somewhere around here candlesticks open and then after some consolidation they basically come out and break the CPR, then you must be sure that even Bank Nifty is breaking out of the CPR, and also make sure that this is a strong candlestick here. If it's a strong candlestick, then if it has broken the CPR support, this support will not hold tomorrow. Okay, so just be careful around that area. Again, on the 15-minute time frame, you can see how strong this particular candlestick is also. So you can see how prior this red candlestick, after that this green candlestick has come up and this entire area has been washed out. It is, see, this is the equation between the two. So the two candlesticks add up to this particular pin bar. So that's how strong that pin bar is standing there. And because of this pin bar here, because of all this support, we can see price taking support in this area. But see, tomorrow if there is a strong breakout from this area, as I just said, then this level does not stand any chance. But again, if price opens below and starts to come up, then this area will act as a resistance here, because if price opens below it, then that support will act as a resistance. In technical analysis, support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. That is called change in polarity. Okay, so I think that should be all in Nifty. Let's head over to Bank Nifty now. Let's see how Bank Nifty performed today. Absolutely flat Bank Nifty went today. There was really no trend in Bank Nifty per se. And when you see such candlestick patterns, you should understand that this is a strong bullish sign. Forget the color red. Even if it is red in color, forget the color red. Mark this particular wick below it. And this wick suggests that there are buyers in this area. And what do you have below that particular candlestick? You have a very strong CPR below that area. So chances are very strong that throughout the entire day, this area will never be broken. And this I'm telling you out of my experience of watching Nifty and Bank Nifty. So even if this particular low is retested, which it wasn't today, then you will find that there is a central pivot support, or at best it might break it and come down to bottom central. But most of the times, I'm saying most of the times, the wide CPR support will never be broken when the first candle is taking such a strong support at the CPR itself. And now when you see this kind of a price action, you can see that it actually went out of the previous day's range with this second candle, but then it took selling and came down again. So immediately what should you do? You should mark off this area. This high is a strong resistance here. This is a strong resistance, and then you should never open a long trade unless a candlestick breaks out of this resistance. Always understand this. So then you know that the price is stuck between the buyers and sellers here. Now there is a tug of war going on between the buyers and sellers. Buyers are pulling the price towards themselves to find a better price to buy at, and sellers are trying to pull the price towards themselves so that they can start to sell on the top. Okay, sellers keep selling at this area, right? But then buyers will keep buying at this area also. This area is an important area. So you can see that buyers have been buying, and that's why you're getting all those swings in the price. I showed you in Nifty also, right? And so that is a tug of war between them. And you can see the kind of consolidation that went here. Then with these few strong green candles, the price went up again, took resistance around this area, which was the day high, and then it started to come down from there. But then you can see how price actually was making small candlesticks and making consolidation kind of patterns there. And that was the reason why I had tweeted in the morning that I am and I put it on Telegram actually, I think that I am definitely not bearish in this market. I am not bearish today. I'm not looking at the short side today. If at all there is some sort of a breakout pattern, then I will be looking to go long today. You have to understand that this day high, the previous day high, was broken in the first candle and broken again. So first candle broke it as a support and the second candle broke it as a resistance. So then that area really does not matter much. It doesn't hold any importance. Now the area of importance is the CPR. That is the most important area of CPR, support, and then the next area of resistance above it would be the R1 pivot, and then the next area of resistance would be these two areas which we have marked here, but price never really went to those areas today. And again, given the wide CPR, it was never going to really rally today. So looking at this sort of price action, we have a very tight CPR tomorrow, and a tight CPR will always follow given the previous day's range bound behavior. So then we do have a chance of a particular breakout kind of a pattern tomorrow. So we might be able to see a trending day tomorrow. So one important fact here, now when we are marking levels, we do have a virgin CPR immediately below the, or exactly at around the previous day low area here. So now just understand that tomorrow, even if you see price action at around this particular area where it actually gaps down a bit and opens somewhere here, or it's open somewhere here, do not think of any shorting opportunity tomorrow unless this entire zone is broken. That is one thing for sure, because this is a very wide virgin CPR, and virgin CPRs are extremely strong when they come on the very next trading session. So no matter what you do, just be careful tomorrow opening any short side position. Anyway, we are in a bull run right now again, and the bulls seem to have resumed their power, and we can also see that day after day we are seeing some positive movement in the market, and any dip, okay, any dip is countered by the buyers and the price is pushed up. So even on the 8th of August, we saw that there was a major short covering rally. Buyers had kicked in to full drive on the 8th, and again today we saw that in spite of some sharp selling in Nifty initially, both Bank Nifty and Nifty have floated very well. So just understand that you have to be very careful tomorrow when opening any short side positions. So be very careful tomorrow. Now looking at the 15-minute time frame, what do we see? See, again, 15-minute time frame shows us that there is a lot of choppiness in today's price action. In fact, it actually went pretty much sideways. You can see the wicks on both sides. So it shows that there is a lot of strength between the buyers and the sellers. But amongst that, I would definitely say, even now, like I was saying in the morning, that it is the buyers that have definitely come up the winners today. So PDH, PDL, I'm not marking today. Anyway, they are always important levels, but I'm not marking them as any specific supply or demand zones today, so as to avoid any confusion. There has never, today throughout the entire session, there has never been a one-sided buying or one-sided selling. So I'm not marking any particular level there. All right. And we have seen a lot of support coming in at these particular areas. You can see this. So if you really want, you can go ahead and mark an area here. You can catch this line and mark a blue line there. And but then you have an important support right below it anyway. So if you want, you can mark a line, but I would ask you to mark it in blue, because that area might not hold as a very important support, but it might act as an area where it might be able to see some reaction in price depending on where it opens. So you could mark an entire zone here also in blue. That is also okay. This is the zone that I'm talking about in Bank Nifty. If you want, you can mark that. If you are getting too confused with all these lines and everything, forget about it. Just ensure that there are no particular trading positions open around this area tomorrow. Just ensure that this area acts as an important indication to you that you should not keep any short positions open till this virgin CPR is broken. Because we see here that there is a S1 pivot there is the previous day low here, that is the previous session's low, that is today's low. Then we see that there is this central pivot of the virgin CPR. Then we see that there is this particular S2 pivot here. So there are a lot of supports to price tomorrow, and if price actually does tend to open flat or anywhere just around this particular previous day low or around the S1, or even in this area in between the virgin CPR, then I will be very surprised to see if price actually cracks below the S3 pivot tomorrow. So that is my analysis for tomorrow. That is how you should also be analyzing. Likewise, see, there are a lot of wicks on the top here, and we can see that there is a price pressure or selling pressure around this area also today. So just ensure that you don't keep any major positions or huge positions open if price is trading within this particular zone tomorrow, upwards or downwards, because we have seen pressure from sellers as well as pressure from buyers today. And unless you see a strong candlestick breaking out of this particular level, out of this particular day's range to the upside, do not open any long positions either. And obviously, as I told you, to the short side. Forget about opening any short positions, new short positions here, and until in fact this particular range is broken, do not open any short positions tomorrow. So I think that will be all in as far as the price action analysis of Nifty and Bank Nifty are concerned. I hope this explanation is good enough and clear for you. If you have any doubts, please definitely leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer them. And do definitely like this video. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for your patience, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye and have a good night.